This is just a little video to show you some of the navigation tools that you'll undoubtedly use. The first thing, I've got a structural model up here on the screen. The first thing you'll notice over on the right side is the view cube, which should seem familiar to you from back when you used the Revit products. And then over here you sort of have a floating navigation toolbar too. Now if you don't have those, you can come up to your View tab, and you'll notice over here on the left side you'll have the View cube and the navigation bar toolbars. Those are just toggles, so you can toggle the View cube on and off, the navigation bar on and off. So if you're for the first time working on a model and you don't see a view cube or you don't see this navigation panel here, you can always click that on. I like the view cube because, again, it can sort of bring you back to certain views pretty quickly. I'm looking at this model, and for whatever reason I'm looking at the top of the model. I'm not sure exactly why, but you know, if you want to go to the west elevation, which again that doesn't really look like an elevation, but you know, you can again navigate around. And you know, again, so you're pretty familiar with that, I think. You know, so anyway, that's the view cube, and again, under the view tab you can toggle these on or off. Just want to show you some of these navigation buttons pretty quickly. The one with the hand is called the pan button. Again, you can click and drag your model up, down, right, left. That's pretty interesting. The one would be the zoom window, which again you can draw like you can in many pieces of software. You can draw, you know, a box around places that you want to view more closely. Again, if you want to come back to where you were, that's where I like using the view cube, just to come back very quickly. The orbit button, there's a couple different types of orbit. The basic orbit button puts a pivot point in, and you got to be careful with this. This really goes quickly, you know, but you can move things around, look at the underside, look at the top side, and it sort of just rotates, you know, around the pivot point, you know, and that's interesting. There are a couple different types of orbit command. I mean, this orbit command is what they call a free orbit. It's a little bit harder, I think, to work with. All right, the look around button, that's interesting because if you get inside the structure, you know, it's easy to look around. There are a couple look around, look at commands, you know. Okay. So anyway, but and then the walk through and the fly through, you got to toggle these off whether you're walking. The walking's okay. I mean, when you get inside a model, this might become more helpful to you. I like the fly through command. And again, you got to play around with this, but you know, this can bring you into a model, and then once you're into a model, again, the look around command can be pretty interesting. This, and then you can use this maybe with the orbit command, and you can sort of pivot around points and whatnot.